Shawn Clement here, and as you can see, it's a pretty intimidating shot we have in front of us, right? If you do this with a little bit of practice, and you practice the pitching motion that we just looked at, you can be quite successful with this and really impress your friends. The pitching technique, instead of taking your normal grip, right, or you're going to take your normal grip, instead of having a square club face, you're going to open the face of the club. So you notice how I let go of the club, I open the face about 30 degrees, and then I'm going to take my normal grip. So when I hinge up and down on my wrist now, you'll see that the club face is staying wide open, so about 30 degrees. Now the thing about a pitch shot, hitting a lob or a flop shot like this, because it's a very glancing blow, the ball will not tend to go in the direction the club face is looking at, because when you have this much loft, it's going to tend to go along the line of the swing. So here's what the shot's going to look like. I open the face, take my grip, set up with the club in the center and the ball just forward of the club, and then I'm just going to open my stance very slightly to compensate for the open club face. Just a little bit, maybe 10 degrees at the most. So now with the pitching motion, we toss everything up, and then we let it fall. The arm unit falls first, the club unit falls second, and I'm just looking for a nice thump. The sole of the club thumping across the ground. I'm sure you heard that sound. And then I'm going to ask myself, hey, was that enough momentum? You'll see that when you come through the shot with all this loft, you need more energy, okay? So we're going to have to assist the momentum a little bit here. Open the face, look at my target, feel that nice fall into that nice thump with the ground. My eyes are on the ball, but the feel is with the ground, across. Okay? So you notice there, I didn't quite have enough energy. So you can see that this requires quite a bit of energy. It came off exactly how I wanted it to, so now I'm going to hit another one, and I'm just going to add a little bit more momentum to it and see what happens. Toss it up. Let it fall. Oh, that was perfect. There you have it. Excellent. So there's the shot. That's how it should look like. You could see that my body was getting out of the way. I'm letting the momentum go to the target, and there was this really nice thump with the sole of the club to the ground, okay? So this technique, pay very close attention, because it's the same technique we're going to use in the sand trap, all right? Instead of thumping the ground, we're going to be thumping across the sand. So let's go have a look at what that looks like. Now, I know many of you don't like to be in the sand, but when you see and you feel what I'm about to show you, you're going to love the sand, okay? Now, imagine if we were on a beach in the water, first and foremost. Here's the surface of the water. Now I'm going to take my hand, imagine I'm going to spray some water towards you. So I'm going to take my hand, I'm going to angle it across the water about 30 degrees, and I'm going to shim my hand across the water. So this is going to jet some water towards you, right? Now, the sole of the club with the sand wedge works very much the same way. The sand wedge is wider on the bottom, so that when you open up the face of the club, the sole of the club is going to be angled like my hand. And then when I skip across the surface of the sand with the sole of the club, it's going to jet a section of sand forward, all right? So let's have a look at what that looks like. So I open the face just like in the flop shot. This activates the sole of my golf club for the sand. Now, again, keeping the weight closer to my front side. My hands are hanging naturally forward. I know many of you are going to try and do this to try and lift the ball out of the sand. It's not about the golf ball. You're not trying to lift the sand out of the bunker. What you're trying to do is you just want to skip across the bottom of the sand with the sole of the club. So it's going to look like this. So you notice when I skip across the sand explodes forward, all right? So this is what we're going to look at when we do the bunker shots in our next episode. So we'll see you then.